Hey, it's me, rapping again. It has again been over 10 days, so I tend to slay it again. That was it thrice, but in the end, I don't care. I'll pay the price. I'm not very wise in a traditional sense, don't have the age, but I compensate for it with straight knowledge out of a not so straight gent. I'm bending these flows, don't know where to go. I think I know that all this shit is maybe starting to limit and reduce, diminish. But it is not yet finished, even though the end is in sight. At least it might be. Yes, I'm talking about the election. Deciding the future of people with complexion. And I do not know necessarily which direction it will end up going. I'm somewhat perplexed, and I will still say to this fake shit, fuck it. Like when gambling with a vampire, I'll stake it. I think in the end, Biden and Harris will make it. They will have won. But in the end, it might be done and I look dumb because the world has succumbed to this orange turd. Has to listen to more of this word that he spits out again and again, offending to no end. Shit. I'm not gonna pretend I have any joy in this fucking pretense of diplomatic equivalency. Political is what I meant, but I'm a dick. An automatic liquor of it, you see? Fuck it. Those cocksuckers need to be shut up. Shut. The lips got nothing in them. Well, I flip something, and then I begin to come in with a better flow, go somewhere, don't know where to, though I end up throwing out the first pitch, but it's like foul G. I need a cheat to make it into the fucking mitt. It's not a mitt, it's a glove, but I gotta shove you into the fucking oven. Yes, that's a grim view, but these tales that prevail through time tend to find echoes in rhymes, with nuggets of truth here and there, returning and splaying up again and again. Well, that was a shit flow, but in the end, I know I gotta find something better. Like hating on that bedwetter, that fucking cunt. But I'm optimistic on the election results themselves, not on how the results will be handled. That will be some deranged strangling of democracy as best as can be done. And it might be strange and awkward, but there's a good chance they'll succumb to a fucking civil war. This is absurd. It's like an internal prison soaring, shivving each other. Doesn't matter if you're a brother, in a literal sense or figuratively. In this country, you'll get fucking stabbed, shot, choked out. It's not in sight to end this fucking ruling by might. Truly, the absurdity of having the police be seen as anything other than having to live up to a higher standard. It's like at random, a so-called criminal has less liberty for error than a fucking officer. Get off them, sir. Because that's what needs to be said, instead of just saying, get the fuck off them. God. Some of them deserve to end up in a coffin, and not the people who actually do. The people who do it to them. So don't misconstrue my views. Shit. I don't know how to handle this. And if I don't, someone who has virtually no stake in comparison, I must say I'm embarrassed when I think, even remotely, the chokehold that is on society as a whole. They want to put you in a hole. And if those holy texts that normally I attempt to annex and destroy brings you some form of joy, I will this time around not toy with it. As long as you keep it to yourself. Because seriously, whatever gets you through this type of torment, torture, and abuse doesn't need to be true, as long as it works for you. And I am very likely to contradict myself in the future on that statement. I'm irate when it comes to irrational thoughts. Can it ever be rational to be irrational? I think not, but for now, this is of limited importance in a relative sense. But I hate the chance that this fucking asshole continues on. It's not like everything will be solved if he's gone. Not at all. That would be wrong. It just so clearly would get worse. Just rehearsing, nursing a second term. Fucking vermin. Born again. Those fucking Christians. I think I used that rhyme before. Spreading more hate than a cap can contain. Captain of Conning America. That was it. And he's hella vain. Even though all the attempts he does are vain in the end. Nothing ever comes through, and then he blames anyone else. And nothing changes. It stays the same except worse. Because now there are, 500 children at the border who are stocked away in a room, like fun of show, like hoarders. No idea where the parents are. For some of them, a good number actually, they don't even know where the fucking child is. That's wild shit. Seriously. And that's just one example. That's the thing, the preamble of arranging a rambling, never-ending cacophony of things which in and of itself would be sufficient to put you in fucking prison. The reason why it's difficult to latch onto any one is because the next one is coming in and running you over. So now was your chance in the next couple days. I hope, even though these rants did not make it out in time, that we will find a future ever so slightly better, ever so slightly more improved, when the youth and minorities vote against the majority white people, which you see in the fucking polls, who still vote for Trump. Fucking chumps. Worthless than a dump. Oh, he's both worthless and worthless than a dump, literally. He has only IOUs. But that's bygone news because the next shit has happened already. Better ready yourselves. The shit ain't necessarily through on November 4th. It will go forth and continue on until the actual results of the election are in. Don't let them spin that shit. And with that, I think my wit would just ramble on almost circularly. And this jerk is fucking catastrophe already. And I hope by the time this comes out, he is a slowly fading memory. Something that was successfully remedied. So I won't pretend to be better at predicting the future than Nostradamus, because neither of us could. But I understood that this change needs to happen. No alt about it. You can't halt the progress in either direction. And now we have to choose which one. Succumb to the torments of this orange toad, or go down a different road. Maybe not as progressive as hoped. A slow progression, one stroke at a time. But in the end, the waves better be flowing in the wetter direction and not dry out in this desert of a mind. Pleasures you cannot find in this refined torment of twisted existence. At least if your existence is in the form of one of the numerous minorities he comes to see as worthy of having them bleed, even if only emotionally. Yeah, I said multiple times I'm gonna end it, and I think this time, my friends, it's actually tending to that result. This was barely offending, this was just rambling and externalizing a hope that is somewhat justified, but I would lie if I would say I'm convinced. The United States does not surprise me anymore. Yeah. Can shoot a porno, but can't have a whore. I'm tired. I'll go and snore. Goodbye now.